Hi guys, welcome to this video about the question if a sensor or the lens of the GoPro could be damaged if you point directly to the sun. So why am I doing that? I did exactly the same thing today. I didn't realize that it could be that I could hurt the camera. Because at the beginning when I started doing that, I pointed the camera to the sky and it was a little bit overcast. I mean, more or less there was not too much sun, and so it didn't worry me. But finally when I stopped the whole thing, I realized, oh, there's a lot of sun, and pointed directly into the lens and the sensor of the GoPro 7 Hero Black. And I thought, is that really a good thing, or could that be dangerous and even destroy the camera? So luckily it turned out that, I had the camera behind a window with pretty new double insulated windows, which had they have a coating or like foil or something like that, which looks like it absorbs or reflects a lot of the UV and infrared. So even when it's super hot and the sun is shining at the window, when you hold your hand at the inside of the window, so it's hard to even feel the heat of the sun. So I think the mirror really saved the window really saved the camera. That's a really good thing. And I then made a few recordings, and it looks like the camera is really in good condition. So here's the video which I have made. I've been recording a few dark places, then a few gray areas, also a little bit of brown, which I heard could be important to check. I've been checking really a lot of parts or areas, even like almost dark areas, white, gray, brown, black, and I haven't noticed any change. Usually you would really see something yellow or something like that, especially here. I mean, the sun was in the middle and the top, and you should notice something here, not anywhere else. I mean, it has been all the time around here, so I can't see any change at all. That's the good thing. So, but let's dig a little bit deeper into the whole topic. If you are affected, or you think you are affected, you want to know maybe a little bit more about that, and I'm trying to help you. Maybe I can help you a little bit and give you some examples and whatsoever. It will take quite some time, maybe 15-20 minutes or so till I have covered everything, but I hope really, if you're in the situation, I can help you, or I can prevent damage if you think about doing something like that. So definitely what I think, the window, the tinted window helped a lot. And I have heard about other people using a foil or something like that, so that could definitely help. But when you Google that, like GoPro damaged by sun, you can really find a lot of topics about that. So I'm not the first person with that question, or with a close call or whatsoever. So let's look at a few samples. So here's the first thing on Reddit, and somebody said sunset time lapse about 2 hours, no damage, no discolor, and he thinks he wouldn't suggest or he wouldn't do more than 4 hours on a clear day around noon. 4 days on a clear day around noon directly into the sun. I definitely wouldn't do that. So next thing, sensor burn from a sunset time lapse. It's permanently burned into my GoPro sensor. Unfortunately, he doesn't, or she doesn't mention. Here we see that Hero Plus. Okay, that's interesting. I don't even know what a Hero Plus is. I mean, it looks like Hero 3 Plus Black. So let's look at the picture, and we can see this yellow thing. So I have seen this on a video. We will look into that after that. Maybe it's even the same thing, but it looks really similar. Yellow thing. When you look at the brown background, you see this yellow line here, and it looks like that it doesn't. It's not happening. I mean, it doesn't have any effect when you are outside. It should be like something like that, not too dark, not too bright, and a little bit of beige or brown. I think that's the best thing, how you can check that, and then if it's damaged you will find like a yellow line, exactly the area where the sun went along. And another person saying the light won't hurt your lens. I did have trouble with overheating. It turns out the camera would keep shooting, but the Wi-Fi would get hot and go out. Yeah, that could be another thing, that it gets overheated, especially when you have a camera with a case. I mean, with the new GoPros, like the GoPro 5, 6, 7 Hero Black, it shouldn't be a huge problem regarding overheating, but I have found same problem with an SJ cam. I had it in direct sunlight, not pointing at the sun, but just in direct sunlight, and I have made a time lapse on a lake, and it got so hot it just shut down. And of course, when it's so hot to shut down, then it could also permanently damage, definitely. I mean, it's not very likely, but it could. Especially, the most sensitive part, of course, are the batteries. Other parts probably would easily survive, but the batteries, when they got so hot, maybe they could blow up, and even when the remaining parts of the camera are not affected, when the battery blows up, it can destroy the rest of the camera just by blowing up the battery. Here's a guy, he had two cameras pointing to the sun, one with like a filter, something like that, one without, and here you can see what happened. I hope you can see that. I mean, the video is not too lengthy, but it's 3 minutes, so you don't have to look at everything. But here there's a background which really fits, something like beige, between beige, brown, gray, and you also can see this yellow thing. Can you see this yellow line? That's the damage on the sensor. I mean, there's no damage on the lens, of course. The lens won't be damaged, but it's the sensor, I don't know if it's a CCD or whatsoever, but it's the sensor. And by the way, the thing happened to a GoPro HT Hero 2. Okay, not one of the newer models, but it still is a GoPro and a Hero. And he had two cameras, one with a stock housing and one with a special adapter and a Marumi CP filter, which obviously blocked some of the sun, and the damage was less. So here you can see how he set it up. He had it on the roof, and that's a little bit I mean, I don't know, it was not really noon, somewhere looks like in the afternoon, but still did some damage. And he made really a nice analysis. He overlaid the area where the damage was, and then he replayed the picture, and as you can see, the sun is really going along this line. It's perfectly covering this area, and so there's absolutely no doubt that this damage was done by the sun. And as you can see here, this is a picture from daylight. So you see the CCD sensor was not totally destroyed, it was just, or like a specific color was destroyed in a specific area, and it actually, I think it's about here in the middle of this area. And as you can see, during daylight when it's bright, it's almost impossible to see, and also with other backgrounds, but there are some backgrounds where you can see this yellow line. So I investigated a little bit into that thing, and what he wrote, he has covered it on YouTube and on other sites, and it looks like GoPro replaced both of his cameras. So it looks like he was within the first year where you have warranty, and he sent them back. I haven't seen, or I haven't found out what he wrote to them. He just probably said, yeah, it has some strange thing in the sensor, and so he got a replacement. But I don't know how many people are so lucky to get a replacement for that, because obviously for GoPro it must be very clear what happened. Here this is something what happens, of course, for a lot of people. They mount the GoPro outside of a car or on top of it or on a helmet, and then you drive, and after some time you realize, oh my god, that I was shooting, or I was pointing for a long time directly into the sun. But the good thing is, as long as you are not stuck in traffic and you're moving with your car, I think it shouldn't be a problem, because even when it's only moving just a little bit, but it's still enough to prevent damage from probably overheating. I don't know what exactly causes the problem. I think it's just overheating on the sensor. Here we are in a GoPro talk. I don't know if this is an official thing from GoPro or just made by other person, but of course they here say, yeah, don't do that. You shouldn't do it for more than a few seconds or so, otherwise you could damage the camera. Also here another topic. I'm not sure if it's the same guy, but he said, yeah, I haven't heard of anyone damaging the sensor of the 3 Black yet, but did damage a couple Hero 2 cameras. Wow, how many does he have, and how many did he damage? That's crazy. So, but he says, I think he has done a sunrise time lapse with the Hero 3 Black, but he didn't, he ended it early and it didn't damage, and he strongly suggests to use a darker filter. So I heard same problem or similar problem from mobile phone users, and of course they highly recommend not to point into the sun, not to record, especially not at noon into the sun, direct sun. But of course a lot of people are taking pictures of the sunset, and I have been doing this for years, and I've never seen any change on my, usually I was using Samsung Galaxy. I had the S2, the Note 2 and S5, S6 and so on, a lot of them, and none of them has suffered any damage from sunset or sunrise. But I've never been pointing into the sun at noon, except from when I put on a really dark filter. I mean, there was a solar eclipse and I put about 20 layers of tinted foil, and then it was also no problem at all. But the thing is, with modern mobile phones, they do not only have cameras in the back, but also good selfie cameras in the front. And I was wondering, I mean, a lot of people they just put their mobile phones on the table, and then they are in direct sunlight, sometimes for tens of minutes or even hours. People are keeping the phones, some have it upside down, some have it turned or in normal position whatsoever. So that means either you have the main camera on top, you're in direct sunlight, or they have the selfie camera in direct sunlight. And I haven't heard a lot of complaints in the last couple of years. So it looks like there are some options how manufacturers can protect the camera sensor from damage from the sun. I have no clue how they do, but maybe they built same thing into the new GoPro 5 or 6 or 7 to prevent such a lot of damage. Because of, I think if they wouldn't protect their sensors against damage from the sun, they would have a lot of complaints about that, and they would have to replace a lot of cameras on warranty, because so many people are lazy. They don't care about these things. They just come back from the beach, come to their towels, and then they throw their cameras on their towels. And as you can see, I mean, most of the time it looks like they are heavier on the lens side. So regarding my tests, in about 80 or 90% of the cases, the camera was down on the lens, so that's no problem. But at least in some of the cases, it stays on the back like here, and then the camera, I mean the lens and the CCD is straight up, and if it's at noon, then the sun will hit it for a couple of minutes or even hours. Maybe people are going back to the sea, leave the camera like this on their towels, and if it would damage all of the cameras which people live in this position, I mean, that would be crazy, and I think you would hear about much more damage. But I'm not saying you should do that, but I'm just saying there is some hope that there is some protection built into newer cameras like the newer GoPros, as it obviously is in newer Samsung Galaxies or iPhones or other good smartphones, obviously, because you really don't hear a lot about such damage. But anyway, I mean, that's it for now. I cannot give you a final conclusion about that. I would definitely say be careful, don't do that at noon. If you have a newer GoPro, then you probably should be able to do it for sunrise and sunset, and in my case it also worked behind like a newer window, which obviously has some kind of UV or infrared like a tinted foil. Then it should be okay if you somehow protect it. And yeah, anyway, if you have a damage, now you know how to find out with some kind of beige brown or something like that. You can make some comparison. You should be able to find this yellow line, and if you have it, and if you are within this 1 year warranty, so I would definitely contact GoPro support and try to get an exchange for that. So that's it for now. I hope I was able to help you a little bit with that. If you have any questions or comments, just write to the comment section below, and I'm always happy to talk about these things. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.